Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Deb Zimmerman and Barb Fletcher. And our guest today on our live is Chef Andy Schultz. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, we were having a little chat off live about why it's so hard to stick with healthy eating and healthy habits. So if you're following us on the live today, drop your comments on why you think it's so hard. And one of us will monitor the chat and see if we can have some good discussion around this. So, Andy, what do you see being a chef and working in the industry? What are your thoughts?
I think it's hard to eat healthy is because everybody's running around at work and not having that's the last thing that's on their mind is to cook
Mm.
healthy. But unfortunately, you need that healthy food in your body to keep that energy going and to make sure you think clearly with the healthy foods that you put in your body. Everything you put in your body is crucial. Fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, lean meats. Take out the dairy and the gluten, the soy to keep that inflammation down in your body. It's very important to do that.
It's funny, before I hopped on, I was running out to the freezer because it's golf season. So my husband golfs like multiple times a week. And I have to have dinner today between 3 and 3:30 because that's the window of time that works for us to eat together. So
Mm.
it involves lots of planning. Barb, do you plan ahead and plan your meals?
On a good day, I do. On a not so good day, I don't. You're absolutely bang on. It's the planning. It's not. I think if we could shift our understanding about the investment in time and understand how big the payoff could be, then we might be more inclined to invest there because we put lots of thought into the car we drive or the places we go or the experiences that we have. Um, Yet nutrition and what we put in our bodies um, doesn't, you know, doesn't right up there. And so I think you're right, Andy. I think if planning, I always have something, I have a fallback position in my mind, and one that in best case scenario I can do that's may take a little more time, but I like to have a fallback that probably offers more nutrition. Now, Deb knows I have an indoor tower which grows lettuce and herbs. And so the fact that it's sitting front and center means there's really no reason we can't always have a salad. And I can throw, some protein, some salmon or some chicken with it and be satisfied. But I think the degree of difficulty we create sometimes in our own beliefs that we can eat healthy and take so much effort gets in our way.
So, Andy, you obviously cook and do meal deliveries and you have caterings. Most people that work in food service either have a love relationship with food and they want to cook some more, or they hate it and they eat out. Where do you fall in that?
I love it. It's my passion. So I take good care of myself. So what I'm preaching, I'm actually doing as well. So I prepare extra foods like roasted Brussels sprouts, peppers, onions, radishes, carrots. I have that extra vegetables in my fridge and prepare it when I'm preparing meals. And then I'll throw a little piece of protein like a chicken or a fish on there. And I have a complete meal. And it gives me the energy. It gives me the focus and drive what I need because I am always on the go and we have caterings throughout and everything like that. And a lot of people who are talking to now wants to go that route. So when I'm creating these menus, they're intrigued by this. And it's easy for
Mhm.
me because that's how I eat every day. So giving them that opportunity and educating them, it's a win-win
Mhm.
for me and the client itself.
Yeah, I can really feel in my body when I eat something that's off my plan. So, off my plan for me, I'm gluten free, not totally dairy free, but I'm very, we only eat usually organic grass fed dairy. I get my stuff, my veggies from a CSA. And yesterday I was off a little bit because I had two events out. And today my knees are sore, So I really have to plan. And when you're gluten free, you really have to plan what you're going to eat.
Mhm.
It doesn't always work out where you go that they're going to have an option. They might have something gluten free on the menu, but is it really? After getting sick a couple of times and having a bellyache for days, you start to think about and plan. So, for people who are stressed about cooking and figuring out how to feed their family, what recommendation would you give them? I know, do home cooked meal deliveries in the West Michigan area. What's the feedback been from the people that have been getting meals? And if sometimes people think that it's really expensive to do that. And from what I've heard from other people, it's pretty cost effective. So, can you talk about those things a little?
Yeah, great question. So I have five families I'm cooking on for a weekly basis. And what they do is they meal plan a week ahead. So one family in particular, they sit down as a family on Wednesday nights and they gather when they're eating the meal that I prepared the week before, they're seeing what sounds good for that week. They might go on Pinterest, they might go on Food Network or anything like that. And like, oh, that sounds good. Let's try that. So by Thursday at noon, they let me know what they want for the meal delivery on Sunday. So if it's a good family gathering and a good talking point as a family to get everybody back
Oh,
into relaxation, stress free, talk about food, talk about what you want to eat. It's a great dialogue for the family and it's good camaraderie between everyone as well. So that's one family. Another family, they let me know a week before as well. They go off my delivery menu and there's 35 different options. So there's so many varieties out there that it's good for about a month. And then I give it another set of menus for them to give them a try.
So, a lot of people eat seasonally,
Yeah.
which having a CS here, I'm having to do. Um, and it's interesting because I was sort of a planner, not sort of, I am, but I don't get to plan as far ahead because our farmer picks the morning that we pick up and picks whatever is in season. So I have to take a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, and I'm secretly a Food Network addict.
That's
I
awesome.
love watching that because it gives me inspiration for other things, and I think it's kind of Food Network has done a lot in that it's brought food to the forefront and united people around a common interest, and so many different cultural aspects are shared, and it's just fun to watch for me.
Yeah, for sure. It makes you think about what you could do in the kitchen as well. Maybe for another stress relief or get the family together is maybe cook all together. Maybe come up with a menu and then everybody has a little piece of something. So if they do like a homemade gluten-free pizza or something like that with dairy-free cheese, you have one of the kids maybe making the dough and then the mom or dad's making the sauce on the stove and then all together when the meal is complete. It is a stress relief for everyone because then they're having the family involved, which is great, hands on.
Barb, does Ron cook?
yeah, he and I both love to cook. In fact, that's our we're over carers. That's our stress response. So if somebody's not doing well, look out, the kitchen go. We load ourselves into the kitchen and start preparing food. So it's yeah, we both enjoy cooking hearty, healthy meals for people. But I love, Andy, the conversation about how this family is coming together and choosing a menu because that's an opportunity for people to experience different kinds of foods that they might not have otherwise done. And I'm sure that there's some democratic way that everybody votes, but to
Yeah,
make sure you get enough people on side.
Well,
for
and what
sure.
a wonderful time to talk about your schedule for the next week so you kind of know
Mm.
where people are going. I know in summer things are a lot more relaxed, but as it starts to become August and kids are starting to head back to school, which I mean, it's July 20 already, folks. It's not going to be long. Everything
No.
shifts where you're doing more things out and you have to work around those. I remember trying to get a meal on the table with high school kids who were going in three different directions and actually watched a lot of Rachel Ray and her 30-minute meals back then because she did things that were very economical and they were easy to get on the plate in 30 minutes. So my house was always the house that people ate at. Like by being the overcare, I was the neighborhood mom who cooked.
That's awesome.
Well, I wish I lived in East Michigan because I'd be on Pinterest coming up with a wonderful week's menu.
Yeah, so Chef Andy, you hinted that you had something that was coming up on your Facebook page. Are you able to share?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Deb. So this is the first time that someone's asked, and we're going to announce it today after our podcast as well. Is we have my business partners into the healthy and the not dairy free, gluten free, soy free. So what we're doing is we're going to offer our services, the new niche, to someone who needs help to go that route. So we would come into their home and like read the labels with them. No, this has the gluten. You may not see that ingredient, but take that ingredient out and actually go to the grocery store with them. And it's like you need
Mm.
to stay on the outside of the grocery store. When you go inside the grocery store, in the middle aisles, you got to stay away from that. That's your prepackaged meals, your snacks, your box mac and cheese, everything like that. So if you stay on the outside where all the produce is, or right in the beginning, I know we have a Meyer here in West Michigan. You go right to Meyer, the first thing you see is produce. You should stay in that aisle. You shouldn't go anywhere else. You just stay in that aisle and create your menu. So that's our new niche. We're going to educate our customers who are looking to go that route but need help. They don't know where to start. So we're here to educate them and consult with them.
Yeah, so are you going to do some of that on your website so other people can?
Yep, for
That's
sure.
awesome. That
Yep.
reminds me, I had so my kids are older now. They're older than you, Andy. So I'm old. But when my oldest was younger, he had a sensitivity to red dye. If
Yep.
you gave that kid anything with red dye, he would bounce off the walls for hours and not go to sleep. So our pediatrician back then, um, he told us shop the outsides of the aisle, and so
Mhm.
to do that. And I make homemade salad dressings. It really doesn't take long. Very
No.
simple to do, and you just need a little bit of guidance. So I'm really glad that you're going to be doing that. I think that's a huge, wonderful service. Lots of people are looking to make changes, and they just don't have an idea of how to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. We feel like that's a need. We're getting a lot of feedback of when we go into in-home cooking classes and everything, or an in-home meal that needs to be catered, they're like, how do you do this? And then that's kind of how we came up with the new ideas. Like, there's a lot of need for this. We just need to come up with a platform or a niche for it and just educate and to get it out on our website. And we be more than happy to work with whoever needs that.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
If you're thinking about making changes, no matter where you are, you can email Chef Andy at
For FOR, the number four, chefs@gmail.com.
he'd be
Mhm.
happy to help you. Any last words for this live on Food Bar?
No, I'm excited to see how that goes, and ultimately, I know, Andy, for those people who are wanting to make that change, you're going to decrease the stress for them along that path.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here to educate and make everybody feel better about themselves and make it a less stress life. That food is it's a very good medicine for your body.
Yeah, and I'll just give a quick commercial for tomorrow's podcast. It's Dr. Kelly Fortier. She is a chiropractor in Fredericton who is talking about nervous system health, feedback, brain communication. It is action packed, brief 24 minutes, but if you don't understand how that works and how all this plays, she gives a great overview. So that will be posted here in the group. And Andy, you broke like 100 downloads in like a day last week. So you hold the record right now. So
Awesome. Thank you for the opportunity to come on the podcast. And I look forward to going on again with you guys at any time. Just let me know. I'd be more than
sweet.
happy to educate.
All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
See
Thank you.
For more tips on living life with less stress and more heart, please follow us on social media or check out our website at lessstressandlife.com.